let's now go to the 2 count and talk about the other title picture, and that's the world title picture. Gunther is the new champion. He won it back last Monday night against Jey Uso, and now the Saturday night's main event in July in Atlanta is set. Gunther comes out, cuts a promo, and we hear Bill Goldberg's music. Goldberg comes down to the ring in his 50s with the gray goatee. He still looks like Goldberg. I'll give him credit on that front. So it's not like he's not a menacing guy. If you walked up to him in the street, you'd still be a little bit afraid of him. But are we supposed to take this title run seriously if Gunther has to sweat another match against what you think would be an inferior opponent? Because he already had the Pat McAfee match at a pay-per-view. He's now going to have Goldberg at a Saturday night's main event in which Goldberg is about to cash in the senior citizens portion of the Denny's menu. I think it needs to be a quick defeat, but I have a feeling we're going to get kind of a tough match out of this. I'm happy it's happening. This is a good send-off for Goldberg, but I don't think Gunther should even have to sweat this one.
Nah, I'm not happy it's happening, man. I'm not, man. Yeah, he looks like Goldberg, but did you see this dude almost snap his ACL trying to get onto the top rope? I'm not buying it, man. Here's the guy, Goldberg, nearly 60 years old. He's had 5 matches since 2020. He's lost 4 of them. Are we really supposed to take him seriously against a prime Gunther? And this is a bigger picture with Gunther, man. I cannot understand how they're booking him right now, man. You just mentioned he's wasted time with Pat McAfee. What story did that really tell? All right, you put the belt back on him after beating Jey Uso. Now you got him facing Goldberg, which to me, I don't know what it does for him, whether he wins or if it's a tough match. So you're telling me you're gonna put him in a match with Goldberg where he either squashes Goldberg or it's gonna be a competitive matchup between 2 guys that shouldn't even be in the same conversation. To me, I feel bad for Gunther. I think he could be booked a lot stronger as far as having that world championship. This isn't an intercontinental title shot, right? This is the world heavyweight championship, which Goldberg just came up and literally just inserted himself into a main event spot with no backlash from Nick Aldis. Adam Pearce just came in and said, hey, I'm fighting you at Saturday night's main event. It is what it is. I'm interested in this match. Am I excited? I can't say I am.
Yeah, it's one of those deals, and that's a good point. I didn't even think about the fact that he's not even on the active roster. He shows up, demands a title match, and there's not a little, well, hold up a second. You got to at least beat somebody first, where like next week on Raw, you fight Braun Breaker. And if you can beat him, then you have a title match. No, it's, you know what? Okay, you earned it. You're Bill Goldberg. You're a Hall of Famer. And this becomes kind of the bigger question. And this is where Triple H, as a booker, I do think we love Triple H in general. He's done a great job. But as a booker, there has been a little bit of this picture with Gunther where you brought it up a couple weeks ago. As an IC title run, it was great. He had a lot of big matches. Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, guys that were, you believed in those storylines. As a world title picture, it was a little finicky. There weren't any headline matches until Jey Uso beat him in Vegas at WrestleMania 41. Now it's Bill Goldberg who's getting this shot. And you have to start thinking, is it a little bit too much where the veterans are getting too much of a push on this card? When you look at this roster and you have a guy like a Karrion Kross that's demanding, just give me a chance to be on TV. You have so many superstars that, given the shot, they could be and excel in this run. And here's Goldberg, not even on the roster, shows up to a ring, says, you disrespected me in Atlanta a few months ago, so now I get a title picture. And it's just, okay, main event, Saturday night's main event, Goldberg. It is a little bit odd and frankly, probably not the best way to go forward. I hope this is the last of what we're seeing with all of this going forward.
Hey man, you're being kind about it. Let's take it a little deeper, man. This is money-wise, we get it, right? Bill Goldberg is the bigger draw. He's, like if you're looking to sell, you want to bring more eyeballs into the business, you bring in a guy like Goldberg. Makes sense. I think as fans, I don't think we're asking too much to say, can this just make a little more sense? Can this guy kind of have to earn it just a little bit before we just throw him in the main event and you guys just throwing something at us? Like, I know we haven't mentioned AEW, but I think one of the biggest differences between WWE and AEW is the fact that WWE takes time to tell a story so the fans can get invested. There is no real connection between this Goldberg and Gunther, aside from the fact that Gunther insulted him months ago. Like, if you didn't watch that episode, you have no idea why these guys are beefing. Or if
I
you're a kid
watched it,
watching
I
for the
barely
first time,
remember it, to be
you know,
honest.
if you're a kid watching for the first time, who's this Goldberg guy? He just comes in and just face Goldberg for the title. Like, I just saw John Cena sell his soul to get a world title shot, against Cody Rhodes. And it was this guy just coming in saying, I got a title match. I think it's also fair to tell you just a little bit. But at the end of the day, this is entertainment. I have very low expectations for this matchup. I hope both guys make it out of this match safe and sound, because I saw Goldberg walk down that ramp, man, and it looked a little rough, bro. But we'll see what happens.
So we grew up in the era where Goldberg started becoming a big star. Obviously, he had that 100 and plus wins without a loss until he became world champion.
Beast.
He went to WWE. The first go around wasn't great, where him and Brock Lesnar were booed out of the building at WrestleMania 20 because everyone knew neither of them were long for the business. Brock Lesnar was leaving. And of course, Bill Goldberg was not in it for the long haul either. So here's my question to you. What is your favorite Goldberg moment, favorite match that he's had throughout his entire career?
Well, if I'm thinking of WCW, I believe it was Halloween Havoc 1998 against Diamond Dallas Page. You had two baby faces. These guys were both on the top of the mountain at this point. It was an excellent match. And I remember specifically seeing it on Nitro that Monday night, because the night before it cut off because it went overtime in the pay-per-view. I don't know if you remember that, but yeah, we got to see the full match between those guys free on national television, which was amazing. But yeah, to me, that match was sick, because I love DDP, I love Goldberg, and I didn't care who won at that matchup, but it worked out.
I'm going to go with Survivor Series 2016. He had been gone for a while. Brock Lesnar was coming off being pretty much unbeatable. Everyone was skeptical about this because the last time they faced was that infamous WrestleMania 20 match where it was not well received. And Goldberg just crushes Lesnar. Spears him right out of the gate, spears him again, puts him up, finishes him 1, 2, 3. The match was just a few minutes long. And what it did was it at least gave him the credibility of, okay, this guy's not just a one and done, and he actually can beat a few people. Of course, he ends up being world champion, and then the next year he goes to WrestleMania and gets Lesnar again. But to me, that just stood out because it was unexpected. And as wrestling fans, we love storylines. We love things that we don't expect. And for Goldberg to come out, in which many of us thought would be a 5-minute match the other way, and Lesnar never got one offensive move outside of a quick, he put him against the ropes, in which Goldberg pushes him back. And then it's a spear, it's over. I just thought that was a cool moment. And it basically made him, in my opinion, a WWE guy in addition to WCW. Because up until then, everything he did good was in WCW. And now it gave him credibility of, okay, this guy might actually have a WWE run in him.
Well, now my question for you is, do we think we see something like that happen on Saturday night's main event? If you're bringing in new eyeballs, hey, I haven't seen Goldberg in 10 years. I'm seeing him on Saturday night's main event squash a guy like Gunther in 3 minutes. To me, I don't think the match is going to be long. So you're either going to have Gunther beat Goldberg handily, or Goldberg, we get a Survivor Series replay. And to me, that is, you're playing with very dangerous substances right there. I don't know. What do you think?
Man, if he does it, then I just think you just ruin Gunther for this. Like, even if he gets the title back, because that would now be a loss at WrestleMania back-to-back years. That would be a loss to Goldberg. Even though he's been a champion most of his time, he would be remembered as being a bigger loser than, in my opinion, a winner. I think he has to win the match. At the end of the day, even though the McAfee match probably went on 7-8 minutes too long, at least he won the match. For Goldberg, he has to leave champion on Saturday night's main event. If Goldberg wins that match, clearly they're setting up a SummerSlam world title match. But to me, this is his send-off in Atlanta, his hometown. Have him wave to the crowd, or his family comes into the ring afterwards. But as a loser, as Gunther walks his way back into the back area with his title belt held strong. I can't imagine that Gunther loses this match.